What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. Her name is Natalie Preddie. She is a breakfast television correspondent. She is also a freelance travel journalist and host. So she is somebody that's in the journalism field, just like myself. Being in sports journalism, she does travel. We're going to talk to her about her why of getting into journalism. We're also going to talk to her and ask her some get to know you questions as well. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Natalie. Hello there. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's wonderful to see you. You look absolutely lovely today. Just want to say
Oh,
that.
thank you. I look like a big old nerd with my glasses on, but
That is okay. Nerding is all good. I love that, and it's a beautiful look on you. No question about
oh,
it. Just want,
thank you very
just
much,
wanted to,
sir.
no problem. Just wanted to start off by saying thank you for allocating your time to me, coming on to my podcast. Work hard, play harder. How's your week starting off so far?
Oh my gosh. Is it just started? It's Tuesday, right? It's busy already. Next tomorrow I'm headed out to Calgary for a quick shoot, 24-hour shoot,
Okay.
and then back. So yeah, it's busy already. What about you?
It's been a little slow. In the summertime, sports is kind of like that, because obviously kids are out, high school, colleges, they're out of school.
Hmm.
So, it's a slower time, but at the same time, we do have amateur baseball coming up, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
I'm also going to be covering some Minnesota Lynx games in July. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into the fold because I'll be transparent with you, Natalie. I got sick in February.
Okay.
So it kind of slowed everything down for me. And
Mm.
I ended up getting like a septic wound. Yeah, yeah, I got a septic wound and found out I was a diabetic. So I
Oh
was
my
in the hospital
goodness.
for like 10 weeks. Yeah, for about 10 weeks. And it's crazy because a couple of weeks before that, I was at the Super Bowl. I was covering the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, so it's been quite the 25 year, no question about that.
Oh my goodness.
But I am on a mend. I'm doing a lot better now.
Good. Good.
Um, and I'm down 55 pounds, and
Wow,
that's
congratulations. That's huge.
absolutely right.
Hold on,
So
just closing
I'm
this
I'm
door.
loving it. I'm loving what it is right now. But um, I'm I'm on the mend, getting back into the fold. Once July hits, I'll be doing some Lynx games. We have some Aurora games because I'm based in Minnesota right now. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Good.
Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
happy to
that.
hear that. I'm happy to hear that.
I appreciate that, Natalie. I really do. I want to reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here before I start peppering you with all these questions. And the reason why I wanted to have you on here is because you're a journalist. I'm a journalist. Uh, Typically, the life of a journalist is, we're always on the go. We're always doing something. We're an advocate for the people. We're
Mm-hmm.
pillars in our community. Everybody has a story to tell, right? And we're so used to
Yes,
getting
sir.
the stories that
Mm-hmm.
we don't tell our own story, right? Because we're so used to getting other people's stories. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to know your story. And I was intrigued when you said travel journalist. So I know that you go all around. I love traveling. I looked at a couple of your videos, got some travel tips from you. I was like, okay, that's what's up. I'm writing it down. I'm taking notes. And I'm like, okay, this is what's up. So I definitely want to hear your story because your story is just as special as anyone else's that we
Thank
go
you.
out and get. No question. So, as I always do, Natalie, the first question is the same for every guest that I have on here. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models? Any inspirations? Maybe growing up wanting to be in the journalism space, or did it just fall into your lap?
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of questions. Okay, what is my why? Why do I do what I do?
Mhm.
Because brings me joy, and
Mm,
I think it I I love people, I love connecting people, I love telling people stories, and
true.
I feel like I feel like helping other people find the joy in their stories as well. I like I want people to, I guess I feel like I'm a conduit of people connecting with other people.
Right.
So um that's my why to, I guess that's my why when I try to boil it down, I guess is, yeah, being the conduit of connection, and hopefully that turns into joy. Um I know that it's quite existential. But I guess yeah, I think that's what I do. And it makes me happy. It makes me so happy to connect with other people, to hear other stories, and selfishly for myself, selfishly to learn these stories, and also to find myself in these stories and connection, from around the world as well. So yeah, I think I'm like, and I hate saying I'm a storyteller, because I feel like that's what someone puts on LinkedIn,
Sure.
when they when they are like us and work in, or even PR sometimes. But I think, yeah, I've always been a storyteller. I've always wanted to, um, I've always been curious. I've always wanted to know more about someone. I find people so fascinating,
They are. We are.
because we
Yeah.
are, we are,
Yeah.
and because everyone's got a story. Everyone's got their own history, their own traditions, their own connections, and I find it just fascinating. And I always thought I wanted to be an actress when I grew up, but as I got older, I felt like I didn't want to be an actress. I wanted to be me. I didn't want to be anyone else. I wanted to be me, but
Right.
I wanted to meet other people and tell other stories, and learn about other people, and and then use media to tell them. So um I went to university in England, and I managed the radio station there, and I loved that. And I did this show that was people's top 10, so you could call in about your top 10, and what were your top 10 songs and why, just because I thought it was so interesting. And then when I moved back to Toronto, after I met my husband. I i wanted to get um into writing and media, and I had no idea how to do it because I hadn't been here. I'd spent the last decade in England,
Right. Right.
and traveling. I did Southeast Asia for a year. I met all these people. I did a film. I worked in this commercial and did this theater and blah blah blah. And so I came back with all this performance experience, I guess, but I moved here and I didn't know what to do. And so
Hmm.
I just kind of started writing in people's blogs, and I did public relations, and I was enjoying myself, but the whole time I was like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I want to do. Um, and then I thought, how can I? Well, transparently, I had a complete breakdown,
Oh,
and had to leave work. Went on mental health leave. I was like, I don't, I just, yeah, I thought like this is not what I am meant to be doing, and I was overwhelmed and not really looking after my mental health, I guess, and then had a complete breakdown and decided I needed to rethink everything. So
sure.
started doing bits and pieces, working for myself, doing contract PR, but writing, and I found that writing is where I felt the most at home,
Mhm.
and a way that I could express myself. And yeah, and I started doing more and more of that. And then my friend had a trip to Kenya with a PR firm, and she said, I can't go. I've given them your name.
Wow.
And I said, oh, okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. And then they accepted me and I went, and the magazine that I was writing for folded while I was
Mm.
gone. And I was like, oh no, what do I
What do
do?
I
I have
do?
to place the story somewhere.
Right.
And I had a friend who said, listen, shoot for the top. Don't start with small outlets because you think you're not going to get a big outlet. You shoot for the top and work your way down. Not down, but to smaller outlets,
Sure.
because if you don't shoot for the top, you're never going to know. So, just do it. So I did, and ended up with a front page story about Kenya. And
Okay.
I know. So then I kind of, what it built from there, and I started travel journalism. And I always wanted to do TV. That was, I would love to
You
host
definitely
TV.
got the face for it. No question about it.
Well, thank you. So I started pitching travel segments,
Hmm.
and so those got picked up. I started doing more and more TV,
Okay.
and then 2020 hit, and the
COVID.
pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and but that point I had two kids, and I was pregnant with my third during the pandemic. So of course everything
Oh,
needed to pivot. How do you write about travel when no one's traveling? So
right. Right.
I also started doing segments, still doing segments on, how to recreate travel at home, and how to have unique experiences in your backyard. So, shooting in my backyard with a phone or a camera person who was really far away, and everything was about pivoting. And then George Floyd was murdered, and
Mm.
I was really, really troubled, as we all were. But I
Absolutely.
cried a lot. And I thought, it was like a wake up call that my focus needs to be on connecting to the community, to my family's Jamaican.
Okay.
And sorry, I should have sorry, my family's Jamaican, so I'm and my mom's English, so I'm biracial, first generation Canadian. Um, but I thought, like, this is now I need to tell the stories of people whose voices aren't being heard, because so much is overlooked. We have so many stereotypes. People are dying, and there isn't enough about it. Um,
Yeah.
but also about joy within the Black community, because there's also so much focus on trauma, and there is joy here, and we need to talk about the joy as well, because we deserve this. And that kind of became my focus. And so now I still do my travel journalism. I have a show, Get Lost with Natalie Preddie. I'm working on some other TV projects, which I'm producing and hosting, which I can't talk about yet, but I'm really, really excited about it. And I'm on breakfast television. I'm the travel expert on breakfast television, which is a Canadian morning show, national morning show. So I'm doing all of that now. And, I will say that my focus is always to tell Black stories wherever I can. And when it comes to assignments, things we want to cover, I will always say, what's the Black angle? Because, like, especially in
I
Toronto,
love
we have a like half the city is Black. The Caribbean diaspora in Toronto is huge, huge. And there's so little mainstream media that talks to us. And, you know, I don't see a lot of people like me who look like me on TV, especially in Canada. And I want to change that. So
that.
that I find that that's really what drives me now in what I do, is to just give voice to the stories that currently don't have one. So that's my story.
I
And
love it.
here
No,
and here I am.
I love that. I really do. And listen, you said a lot of wonderful things in that. Being a voice for the voiceless is definitely the reason why I wanted to become a journalist as well. Telling people stories that haven't been told. And you just never know because each day brings something different, brings something
Mm-hmm.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and being as you said about COVID, you've had a hell of a journey. Obviously being a mom, being a wife, being a journalist, you wear many hats. And it's not easy being a journalist when you wear that many hats, but you do it so well. And anybody that
Thank
sees
you.
any of your work, they'll say the same thing. I'm almost sure of that because you do what you do. When you do it passionately and you do it with the right intentions and the right heart, it's beautiful to see. And I love the fact that just talking to somebody different in a different genre, because I do sports.
Yeah,
And I love sports. Sports is great. Sports has a lot of values and brings people together, but it's always great
100%.
talking to different people in different genres, whether it's news, whether it's travel, entertainment, or whatever it is. So I love that first answer. And that tells me we're gonna have a great conversation moving forward. For sure. You mentioned it while you was in there. Goldsmith, University of London is where you went to get your bachelor's.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me. Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to Goldsmith, I should say?
Well, I went to Western, which is an university in Ontario first, and I kind of followed a boy, which was a mistake. In retrospect, it was very white, and there was no one who like there was no diversity. I
Mm,
felt, I felt,
okay.
and I really had a tough time there, and I lasted a semester and a half and then
And you
left
was up
because
out of there.
I left.
Okay.
That was not for me. And then I moved to England originally to dance as a dancer, in like musical theater, ballet. And I did that for a bit. And then I injured myself and had a little bit of an identity crisis. What do I do if I can't dance?
Dang. Right.
Um, and then I traveled. Um, so I didn't go back till I was a mature student. So I was 23 or 24 when I went back to university.
Okay.
Um, and I went to Goldsmiths because it's an arts university. So they focus on media, they focus on English, they focus on literature, and it's very liberal. And also, my mom went there a long time
Oh,
ago.
okay. All
So that
right.
was really good. That was really cool to know that my mom walked these same halls. And it was also in a part of London that had a big Jamaican and African presence. So
I
I
love that.
tended to feel more comfortable there. There are lots of mixed kids like me in
Mm.
London, tons of mixed kids. So I just generally felt more, at home there.
I need to go there. That's what
You
I need to do.
do. It is so
Absolutely.
yeah. I love London. It's so cool.
Okay. I love that. I really do. You mentioned Toronto, which is one of
Yes.
my favorite cities. I've been there a few times.
Just
I
sports. We've got lots of
yeah,
great teams.
lots of great teams. I'm definitely wouldn't mind going there to live and cover stuff. That's for sure. I went there a few times. I know one of my times I went there. I went to the amusement park called Wonderland. I don't know if they still have
Oh
it.
my gosh. Yes.
So they still do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
So yeah.
awesome. I love Wonderland.
Yes. So definitely went there one time for sure. Actually a couple times when I went over there to Toronto. I love Canada. I've also loved Montreal. I love
Oh,
Quebec.
beautiful.
And Calgary is another place that I love. I just love going to Canada and stuff. And I do love traveling. I really do. You mentioned that you're Jamaican. One of my favorite places that I've ever been to was this past October was in Jamaica. I got a
Oh,
chance to go
fun.
there on a cruise. My dad actually set it up for the whole year of like 24. And he was like, we're gonna go in October. We're taking a week off. Get your schedule ready. get your money right, and we're gonna go on a cruise. I was like, okay,
That's
cool.
awesome.
So yeah, Jamaica was and the jerk chicken, Natalie. My goodness, the jerk chicken was amazing.
Food food is
Absolutely.
good there. We
Yes, it is.
we do some phenomenal food, if I do say so myself.
No question. The chicken and rice was just off the chain. No question
Oh,
about that. So
yeah.
Jamaica was my favorite spot. The beach was amazing. The scenery was amazing. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I like that. Okay.
Good, good. I'm glad
Oh,
you like it.
thank you so much. I want to ask you some favorite questions. Okay. You just
Okay.
give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay. So here we
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh, are my kids there? Because then it's different. They don't eat. They're very picky.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay.
Favorite meal. I don't actually cook a lot. My husband does most of the cooking.
Okay. Shout out to the husband that does that. Okay.
Yeah, he's very good at it. So I'm like, if it ain't broke, right?
Don't fix it. No, I feel
Don't
you on
fix
that.
it. The favorite meal I like to cook. It shouldn't be this hard. I don't know, something easy, man. My favorite thing I like to cook is whatever I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe
Um,
maybe spaghetti, chicken. Um Not spaghetti chicken, but I meant like spaghetti and then chicken.
I don't know. You know what I like making? I like making like a curry or a some sort of like
Mm.
stew with like beans and lentils and spices. Yeah, that's what I like to cook.
Okay, so before I tell you my food, Natalie, the next time I'm in Toronto, I'm gonna have to say what's up to you. That's for real.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what's
Absolutely.
up.
Hit me up. I'll definitely make a curry. It tastes different every time. It's whatever I've got in the
You said the
pantry.
magic word, curry. So I don't care how you make it. That's a beautiful thing right there. Curry is some good
All
stuff.
right.
No question, no question. I'm a huge taco person, so I love
Ooh,
tacos, whether
okay.
it's beef or whether it's steak or chicken. Those are the three main ones that I like to make and eat.
Love
Being a
tacos.
bachelor over here, if I don't cook, I don't eat. So that's what it is. So you got to make sure you do what you do. That's for sure. Okay, that's what's up. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, ooh, okay. So, um, I saw Miss Lauren Hill,
Oh
and
yeah.
she with the Fugees 25th anniversary. It was so good. I was so happy. And
Oh, so you
Wyclef,
went to that one too? I
yeah.
went to that one too, but I was the one in Atlanta. I went to the one in Atlanta,
Oh,
Georgia.
okay. No, I was in Toronto, and
Okay.
and it was it was so good. It was just like all my favorite stuff. 'Cause it was the Miseducation tour, right? 25 years of Fugees. Um, and it was just like all my songs, and Wyclef was hyping, and like the security was not happy because he was in the crowd, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was not. They were like, come back," but they were great. They were awesome, and I just love that album. That's my Desert Island album.
Yeah, that Killing Me Softly, every time it comes
Oh,
on, it's a vibe. It's a vibe, it's a bop. And then obviously Lauryn Hill with her songs, and then Wyclef with his songs. It was a great concert. It really was. I went with
yeah,
a couple of friends of mine, and it was in Atlanta, Georgia, so it was pretty good. I like it. I like the fact that we went to the same concert though. That's pretty
it's a
cool.
good concert.
Yes, indeed. Now, obviously, this next question is, and this is what you do for your job, but the next question
Okay.
is, what is your favorite place that you ever traveled to? And you can give me a couple of places because
Oh,
you definitely have been all around. I told you mine
okay.
was Jamaica.
St. Lucia is stunning.
Mm,
The pitons are there, which are also beautiful. Some amazing snorkeling. Um, and there is a resort there called Stonefields, and it's Black woman owned.
okay, now
Um,
I like that.
yes. So yeah, it is super dope. I love it there. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite places. Just with the pitons are like in the background are just So beautiful.
Hmm.
So beautiful. Um, so that's one of my favorite. Uh, Kenya, no, the continent. Oh my goodness. Kenya is just so beautiful. Nairobi is an awesome city and like it is just as metropolitan, just as like as American cities. Like it's a really, really cool place. And you've got this really cool there's a national park that is on the edge of Nairobi. So you have like these skyscrapers here, and then you have like lions and not tigers, lions and elephants and giraffes. So you have this really cool juxtaposition of nature um, and urban right there, and it's fascinating. And of course, it feels like this is where the world began, right? So it is such a phenomenal place and really humbling.
Yeah,
Um, every time I visit the continent, Botswana is another place that I think is beautiful. And there's never really been a conflict there. So everyone is just chill and like just having a good time. And what I love is the real how the animals work and live with the people. And, you know, they coexist and they help one another. I mean, the animals less help than the humans, but you know, the humans were farming, and elephants kept walking through their crops to
right.
get to this one water hole. So what they did is they started building different water holes around the country. So it really dispersed where animals were going. And it meant that people could farm in these places and animals were not going to. So it was like, okay, it's like the animals aren't a problem. Let's get rid of them. It's the animals are here. They obviously help the environment. They're part of the ecosystem. How do we exist in a way that's beneficial for all of us? So I think Botswana is a really cool place. And then,
Oh,
of course, South Africa, which is just so cool. Like it is the culture there. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of not great things about South Africa, but I
sure,
think
sure.
the Black culture is really cool. It's
I
really
love
cool.
that. I love that. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this next favorite has to do with sports. You know, I got to bring in a sports question
Of
because I'm a
course.
sports guy. Favorite sport? It's a two-part question. Favorite sport
Okay.
that you like to watch on TV?
Okay.
Favorite sport that you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Favorite sport to watch on TV, soccer.
Okay.
I love it. I was brought up on it, and it's fast, and it usually involves the whole, like my favorite sport, a World Cup or a Euro Cup tournament, I will watch the entire thing. I will watch all the games. Like love it.
Hmm.
I love it. Um
Come
my
on to the
favorite
States now to watch the World Cup because you know the World Cup 26 coming here next year.
it's coming to Toronto too.
Is it?
Toronto, Vancouver, and then LA and New York.
Yeah, LA, New York. I think Atlanta.
Is it
Atlanta's on
Atlanta?
that list
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what.
I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Okay now.
And then to attend in person, I would say baseball because all three of my little boys play baseball and I love to watch them. They're so good and or not I mean they're not I mean they're so happy playing baseball and watching your kids happy playing a sport is just the best thing ever. So
Love it.
I guess that would be my watching sport and then in person, TV in
Okay.
person.
I like that. I do. Now, this last one, I'm a foodie, Natalie. So
Oh,
this last favorite question is favorite restaurant to eat at in Toronto. Because when I do come back, I do want to go to a nice little restaurant and try some new foods, try some different things. And I like doing that when I go to visit cities. So what's your favorite restaurant to eat at?
okay. Hmm. Depends what I'm in the mood for. But I would
Okay.
say one of the best restaurants in the entire city is La Banane. And it is a French restaurant. And I mean, I'm biased because my best friend's husband is the sommelier there. But
Okay.
The food is amazing. It is so, so good. Um, yeah, and the wine list is amazing. If you want like a bougie, delicious meal, it is just if I want
Got
to
you.
have a good time, I go to Chubby's Jamaican Kitchen because the DJ is good, the service is good, the food is good. I really like it there. But I'm gonna put this one to you because I have my answer. Favorite restaurant you would travel for?
Favorite restaurant to travel for? Wow, that's a good question. I would say any Brazilian steakhouse.
Okay.
Uh, any Brazilian steakhouse like that, like the one that has the cards where it's red and green, and you be flipping it over, and they just come to you, and
Oh,
they continuously serve you food. Yeah, yeah, I'm with that because I want to
okay.
try as much stuff as I possibly can. I'm a carnivore at heart, so any steak, chicken, um, anything like that, I'm with it. So, yeah, turkey too. I'm with that too.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm definitely a carnivore when it comes to that. But yeah, if it's a chain restaurant, like an actual chain restaurant, the one restaurant that I absolutely love, that's my guilty pleasure that I know I shouldn't really frequent, but I do, is Jack in the Box.
Okay. We don't have that.
Mm, we don't either. We do not. We don't either out here, and that's the one I frequent, and that's the one I
Okay.
would frequent because that's my spot. The curly fries, the burgers,
Okay.
they just die for. So and the shakes. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that.
Okay.
Okay.
So mine is Yo Mama's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yo, mamas.
It's called Yo Mama's in
What?
Birmingham. And
Okay.
they have these chicken and waffles that I would fly to Birmingham to eat there, turn around and go back home. It is so good. It is beyond. I love it. I spent more time in Alabama than I ever thought I would. Um, but and every time I'm like, I gotta go to Yo Mama's. Got to.
Okay. So
More than once.
next time I'm in Alabama, I'm definitely gonna go to your mama's. You said Birmingham. I've been to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but I haven't been
Okay.
to Birmingham yet. But I
Oh,
would definitely
Tuscaloosa
try
for
that.
the sports.
Yes.
Roll
Yeah.
Tide.
Yeah. Roll Tide. They are huge Roll Tide fans over there. No question
Oh,
about
I
it.
know. It's
No
terrifying.
doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. I want to talk to you now about your day-to-day process, right? Being, as you say, a correspondent for Breakfast Television, a host and a journalist, as a travel journalist that you are. Tell me about your day-to-day operations that goes on. Like I said, you have three boys, you're a wife, journalist. You got a busy plate. Tell me
Mm,
exactly how much can you actually get done? When do you start your day? When does it end? Especially as a freelance, when you freelance, you got to be on the grind. You got to be able to look for stuff and be able to book stuff for yourself or have people, try to find you stuff to book and stuff like that. Because I'm a freelance journalist as well. So I understand when I have to go to different networks and go to different publications and say, I'll cover this for you, I'll cover that for you. I got to make those calls. I'm sure you understand that. Tell me about your
mhm.
day-to-day operation and your process of how to prepare yourself to be a journalist.
So as you said, when you're freelancer, you're pitching, but it means that no 2 days are the same.
Right.
Um, so for instance, it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, yesterday I had a travel, sorry, I was with Breakfast Television and I did a live eye in the morning. So that means I was on site somewhere and then, going back to the studio with a camera. And so I started my day with that. So my day started at like 5:30 in the morning, got up, did
Mm.
that, went back, came home, meant to go to the gym, but then I had a call that went over and I didn't get to go. in my little, time in my schedule. Pick up children from school, feed them, go to sport. So basically my evenings look the same. My evenings are pick up kids from school, take them to sport, work, watch other kids, feed kids, bathe kids, make lunches for the next day, bed, and then try to wind down. My mornings change because the mornings that I'm in the studio are different than my mornings that are live. I try to move my body every day just for my mental health and my physical health. It really helps me. It really helps me kind of manage things to stay sane, to stay
Right.
balanced.
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to move your body. And as a sports journalist, I'm sure you get it. The hormones and the the dopamine that you get from working out, lifting weights, lifting heavy. There's a sense of accomplishment that I really enjoy. And of course,
Okay.
classes as well. I think there's a camaraderie in being in being with other people, that you're all moving the same way, you're all shifting energy, you're sharing energy, that sort of thing. So I try to do that every day. Spend some time writing on my computer every day, writing out pitches, writing ideas. And then, of course, trying to stay on top of my video channel as well, my YouTube channel, writing pitches. I mean, no two days are the same. Like tomorrow, I'm headed off to Calgary, so I'll try to, work out in the morning, get some work done after I drop the
Now,
kids
how
off at
far are you away
school.
from Calgary? How far are you away from Calgary?
3-hour flight.
Ooh, okay.
Canada's big, big,
It is.
big.
It is.
Second biggest country in the world. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, it's a lot, and it changes every day, and I love it because the monotony of doing the same thing over and over again would be the death of me.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be awful. It really would.
I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I tried to do it and it did not work for me. So I just tried to, yeah, I think my weakness is knowing when to ask for help. When I just can't do it. I have a manager who helps me with my PR activity, and she is phenomenal. I could not do this without her.
Okay.
And she, in terms of like media appearances and speaking gigs and brand work, she manages all of that, and she talks money because I hate talking. I would do this for free. Obviously I can't. I need to
Sure.
pay for my children.
Right,
But
right.
you know, but
But you love it so much.
I love it. I love it. So I have her to help me manage that, which is very helpful. And also to give me a confidence boost when I'm like, what am I doing? I can't do this.
Right.
Everyone's better than me. Um, she's also very good at bringing me back to earth. Yeah, in answer to your question, my day to day, there is no such thing. It's just, constant reaction, less less about being proactive than I would like. I do my best because, with my kids, I have to be extremely organized, or it will be even more
Yeah.
chaos than it already is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's great. I write it. A lot of my trips are self-directed. I've decided in my heart, this is my TV year. This is when I'm really going to go into TV. Look, I'm saying it out loud. This is the year
Speaking
my
into
show.
you're manifesting it.
I'm manifesting it. This is where my show gets picked up. It's or whatever it is. This is manifesting it.
I love it. I love it. That is
So
awesome.
yeah. So I'm writing less this year, but just trying to create more and try to just create some space for whatever is coming as well. Because I
Mm.
think if I'm packed chock-a-block, then there's no room for whatever I am manifesting, whatever I'm creating to take shape. So trying to create the space for that as well.
I love that. I do. And that's a terrific answer. And it's also a great segue, though, Natalie, to the next question, which is about mental health and
Okay.
work-life balance. Mental health for journalists. I've had a lot of people in this industry that have left the industry because of mental health. You kind of touched up on it a little bit early on. You said you had a mental health breakdown. You were very transparent, and I appreciate that. Sometimes it was looked as a weakness to talk about this a long time ago, and now it's
Mm-hmm.
starting to be more embraced because mental health is a serious thing. Burnout is a serious thing being in this journalism
100%.
field. Talk to me about how do you keep your mental health strong as a journalist, as all those hats you're wearing, but also still try to have that work-life balance. And listen, I know work-life balance is not 100% all the time. It's just not. Anytime that you're a journalist, you understand that. But I feel people in the journalism space understand that. People that's outside of the journalism space don't understand the schedule of a journalist. They just don't. So
No.
tell me, how do you try to do your work-life balance, but also still maintain good mental health?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't always. I think I think balance is a fallacy and a dream that someone put out there to keep us to keep us um working. I don't know. I don't think there is. I don't think yeah. I don't think work life balance. I think it's all about defining what success looks like for you, for one
Right.
individually,
Okay.
right? Because as we see the middle class disappearing, I think what we're realizing is that success, we each need to define it personally, and it tends to be more about time and connection and our and my connection with people, and the time that I have to connect them. I am very, very grateful for, and have built a career around connection. So in terms of like practical things that I do, I am medicated. I take an antidepressant every day,
Mm.
and I have for many years.
Cool. Okay.
Uh, I try to move my body every single day. Whether it's, some days it's just a walk. Some days I lift weights. Some days I take like a Pilates class or a HIIT class, or sometimes I jump on the bike. It's just a way to move my body every day. I think, yeah, I feel like that is very, very necessary. Also, putting my phone away um, is is a good one. I'll do things like, schedule social media and then just put my phone down. I feel like it's
Hmm.
very easy for me, and I know this about myself, that I can get lost down a rabbit hole, and you know, uh I self-deprecate, and then, oh my gosh, like I said, what am I doing with my life? Blah blah blah, and so I think there are times when I know I have to put that away.
Sure.
Um and I try to
Mm.
see my friends as much as I can, not as much as I can, but at least once a week. I try to see friends and stay connected to friends. Yeah, I think that's it. And then just, check just checking in, I do a lot of, okay, why I'm feeling really anxious. Why am I feeling really anxious? Okay. Is it because what have I got coming up? Okay. And then break it down.
Right,
How can I
right.
best address this? And that's just, I think, just from years of therapy.
I love that.
um, but like now I think, just practically just thinking about overall well-being. Am I drinking enough water? Am I eating right? Am I and also what are my expectations? I think with the journalism specifically, and within media, you get a lot of no's and a lot of rejection, and it
Without question. Yep,
hurts, right? You
yep.
take it personally. And I think one thing that I've had to learn is that it isn't personal, that the media is very much a reflection of what's going on right now. It's a reflection of society. Like I know that out of 2020, people were more interested in hearing Black stories. Now they're not, right?
Yep.
So
That was a hot
I'm
thing right there.
that was a hot thing. And now I have to fight a little bit harder. And it's not about me, it's the media landscape at the moment. And I have to fight a little bit, I have to fight a lot harder for it. Um, and not take it personally, right? Not
Right.
think that it's about me. And I think that's one thing with getting older as well, is separating me from them. Also, someone gave me some advice once, which I try to use in my day-to-day life, and it really, really stuck with me. And she
Okay.
said, I like to go into every day thinking, what can I do for someone else? So but that's even business relationships. So when I think about, pitching a segment, for instance, something for TV, why do I think that a segment on how to pack your carry-on is going to be helpful? Well, for the network, it's going to be helpful because it's something that audiences need to know. Why do audiences need to know that? Because a lot of people are packing and they don't want to spend more money on, checking their bag, or even a bigger bag now you
Right.
have to pay. So how can I help people enjoy a trip more by packing their carry-on, and then pitching it like that, and then you take that into your family life with my kids. How can I make them feel good about something that they did today? How can I help them? And ever since that woman told me that, I've been really, really trying to put that into my work, into my relationships, into even my relationship with myself. How can you help? And my own little spin on it is, how can you find the joy in it? Because the world is on fire, literally in some places.
Yeah.
Um, what is
You
the
absolutely.
joy that we can find? Like, we have to, otherwise we're all gonna, you know, continue as we are. Come on, what you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm rambling, and I also ramble. So
That's okay. That's all right. No, but you definitely answered the question about that, and I appreciate your transparency on that. Not a lot of people like to admit that they go to therapy or take medicine for it, but these are things that are natural. They're natural things that people do to try to get by on mental health. I like to write poetry. I like to go out and take walks. I like to work out. I like to do those type of things to just relax myself. I don't have any family up here, so I'm a huge family person. I like to call moms, like to call dad, make sure they're okay, they're fine. But it also helps me as well, talking to them and just seeing
of
how they are
course.
as well. It helps my mental health. So just to be able to do that, people deal with mental health in so many different kind of ways, but the main thing is to definitely talk about it. You can't ignore that because that's something, if you get into this industry of journalism, that you're probably going to have a rubber meets the road type of ordeal. You're definitely going to meet that road. There's no question about it.
Oh, 100%.
Now, you talked about advice. What is some advice that you would give somebody that wants to be in the journalism business, whether they're freelance or whether they're with a station or whether they're with the publication, however they want to be in a journalist? What kind of advice would you give them, Natalie?
Say yes. Say yes, accept, always say yes, and then figure it out. um, uh,
Hmm.
and then stay curious. I'd say, like,
Hmm.
even the whole thing of your podcast, always remembering your why. Why do you want to do it? Keep asking questions, keep
Yeah,
looking for more. And then when you get there, say yes. Um,
I love it. Now, let me give some little pushback on that
okay,
because I'm a type person that does. When I first started out, especially I was in my late 20s, so I got started kind of
okay.
late doing
No such thing.
journalism. Right. People say that all the time too. So late 20s, I got started, and I used to say yes to everything, Natalie. I was like, okay, I'll do this football game. Oh yeah, somebody called out, I'll do that game. I'll do this, I'll do that. As I got older and more mature, and just more wiser, not only in life but also in this journalism game, it started to get to a point where sometimes you feel like people are taking advantage of you.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd say early in your career, say yes. Um, but I have friends now who are journalists and are getting taken advantage of, and I don't. I have specifically said, stop it. You are going to burn out. So I
Right.
think so. I'd say when you're starting out, say yes,
Sure.
and then, but again, I'm going to say balance, but it's you have to protect your peace, right? You never want to put yourself. I mean, say yes, but don't put
But
yourself
don't
in
compromise
danger.
yourself.
Don't compromise, right? Don't compromise your why. I guess
Right.
don't compromise your health
I love it.
ever, ever. Don't compromise your health. That's all you got.
Yeah,
And after being in a hospital for 10 weeks, this is
absolutely.
your health is what you is all you got. So, you know, when I say yes, stay curious, but yeah, don't compromise your health. Don't compromise your integrity, right? That's don't compromise your why because I mean, feel free to explore it a little bit. Maybe it changes, maybe it grows over here and shrinks on this side, and
Sure.
and whatever your why is will change and it will grow and adapt and evolve. Um, but yeah, and especially once you get it a little bit, and then you're like, no. So I guess that's another piece of advice: follow your gut. Like if there are so many times that I wish I had followed my gut and um oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. There are so many times that I wish I had followed my gut and I just didn't and regretted it. And so now I'm just, it doesn't feel right. I don't do it.
I
And
love it.
try not to second guess that.
Yeah, then that's kind of that's kind of human. It's almost human in us to second guess things, right, all the time. But I love that advice of what you said. Listen to your gut. Don't compromise yourself. Now, me being in my 30s, I'm just more confident of who I am, and what I'm about. Um, I know my work ethic. And listen, that's for all people that get into this industry. When you're in
Mm-hmm.
this industry for years and years, then you start doing things, you start writing articles or doing demos or hosting shows or whatever you're doing, the more and more you do it, the more confident you get, but you also understand your worth. And that's the main thing
Mm-hmm.
I tell people. I tell people to make sure you definitely know what your worth is. Even if you're starting out, you know you
Yes.
don't want to be eating top ramen every single day. So you got to know your worth. You got to know your worth. You already been through the college experience. This is not a professional leagues. And we know journalism don't make a lot of money, but again, you don't want to be
No.
eating soups and sandwiches every single night. At some
No.
point, you want to kind of build from the college experience to professional experience, and then you want to also build on that experience to continue on going to different places and taking it as high as you possibly can. So yeah, I love that. I love that answer that you gave. I love that advice that
100%.
you gave for sure.
Thank you.
We have now reached the portion of the podcast to now we're going to do our interactive game called
Okay.
This or That. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, what this is I throw some things out at you, Natalie, and you get to choose this or that. So, Natalie, are you ready?
I am ready. Hit me.
All right, here we go. Which restaurants out of these two would you rather eat at? Popeyes or KFC?
KFC. Wait, is it KFC in Jamaica? Because the
Like,
KFC in Jamaica is different than the KFC in America.
okay. Well, okay. We'll say the KFC in Jamaica then.
KFC.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that. So you would eat Popeyes in America though.
Yeah. I do Popeyes in the States and I do KFC in Jamaica.
Got you. Okay. Say less.
Yeah. Okay.
On a chicken wing, which sauce would you rather put on it? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Barbecue.
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Wet.
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Ooh, bone in.
So you like to get a little messy, Natalie.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We might have to find that out. We might have to find that out. I'm just saying. I'm a wing person now. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I'm all about the white meat. I'm wing and breast all day long. No question. Okay. Here we go. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Basketball or football?
Basketball.
Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Oh, they're both awful. Badminton.
Did you say they both awful?
Yeah, I don't want to do either of those things. But
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
badminton.
Oh,
If it's
okay.
outside and the weather's nice and yeah.
I feel that. Okay. I like that. Now, these next five
Okay.
questions have to do with music concerts you rather go to. So here we go.
Okay. Okay.
Which excuse me, which music concert would you rather go to? Rihanna or Beyonce?
You can't ask me that.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Damn.
That's a hard one too. I know it is.
You started with like the hardest.
Not, but hey, that's why I wanted to get it out the way so that way we can have the
Okay.
cupcake questions after that.
Okay. Beyonce. I
You
don't know,
sure?
but Carrot. No, I'm not sure. Rihanna's an island girl. Where is the concert? I suppose it doesn't. That's no. Natalie, let's say Rihanna, just to be difficult.
Okay. Listen, I would have picked Riri too, but that's because I've seen Beyonce 3 times already. I have
Oh,
not seen
okay.
Rihanna in person.
I haven't seen either of them.
I got you. I used to do event security, so 2 of those concerts I
Oh.
was actually at the stage protecting Beyonce. The
Oh
other
my gosh,
concert,
that's so cool.
yeah. It was she had one of her concerts. She had 2 stages, so she would walk from one stage A, to stage B.
Oh my
And her
gosh.
her security guard was 6'8", 330 pounds.
Okay, now
And
I want to see Beyonce.
you should. You should. When you come back to
I
Toronto, come on now.
yes, I know, I know. I just have never been able to get tickets.
Yeah, it's quite expensive for sure. Okay, so now let me ask you
Okay.
this: which music concert would you rather go see, Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, it's another tough one. Oh. Okay, so this is an internal, this is a debate that I have had in my
Mm,
heart, in my
mhm.
heart for
In your
solo,
heart.
because I love Kendrick. I love him. He's so talented. He is, he's clever. He's a lyricist. He's just
He's dope.
amazing. Like beyond that, my first Matley, I'm a freelancer. I've never had a Matley, but my first child, I always listened to Damn. Always. That album reminds me of when I had my first son. But I'm from Toronto and I'm light skinned and I'm Canadian. So like Drake, I can't let my boy down.
Okay. Well, in the words of Soldier Boy, Drake is that's what you Drake? Okay. Okay.
I would really I that's it. That being said, Kendrick and SZA, if they came to Toronto, I might
They
have to
probably are.
secretly go. I know I might have to secretly go see them.
Okay. I'm with you on that. So would you give 51% to Drake and 49 to Kendrick, or 51 to Kendrick and 49% to Drake?
It depends who asked me. um, listen, Drake, I support you. You're my boy. Kendrick is poetic. I mean, but Drake also does some beautiful things for the community, within the community. He reps Toronto. He's really put Toronto on the map. We're an awesome city. It's about time. Um,
Toronto is definitely awesome, no question.
mhm, but
But that ain't what I
Kendrick,
asked you though.
man.
That ain't what
I
I asked you though.
know, I know,
That ain't what I asked you.
no, no, no.
Which one is 51 and which one's 49%?
Okay, I'm going to go see Kendrick.
All right. You made the right choice too. I just want to let you know. You did. That was a tough one. But here, this should be an easier one, okay?
Okay, okay.
Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see J. Cole or Lil Wayne?
That's not easy. Lil Wayne would be awesome. And he would be hilarious. It would be
Hmm.
a fun show.
Yes, I plan on going to see him. I don't know if you heard his new album, The Carter Six, yet,
I haven't
but
listened to it.
it is out. He does
Okay.
have some good songs on there. To me, it's an okay album, but it's
Okay.
hard to judge Lil Wayne because the Carter Three was a banger, the Carter Four was a banger, the Carter
Right?
Five was a banger with Mona Lisa and him and Kendrick. It's just so hard to keep making bangers all the time of albums.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he do got some good songs on that Carter Six, and he's coming out with his tour, and I'm going to see him live for sure.
Ugh, amazing. I mean, J. Cole would obviously also be
Hmm.
awesome. But I think I have more of a personal connection with Lil. I mean, I don't, but I feel like Lil Wayne, his music has, I don't know, it's just more events with Lil Wayne and my, so I think it would be more of like more nostalgic, I guess.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right,
Yeah.
which music artist would you rather go see? Would you rather see SZA or Summer Walker?
SZA. I'm obsessed with her. Obsessed. I think she's phenomenal and gives
Mm,
me the feels. I
she,
like
she definitely look good. I say that. No question.
she she's amazing. She's amazing. Like I'm just like hours, hours. I was sick once. I remember being stuck in bed and I just laid there for hours listening to SZA. Like
I love that.
she's she just uh hands
Okay,
down. I love her.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, this last one I'm gonna ask you. This one is gonna be this one's gonna be a little difficult, but I think that you'll still be able to answer it. Which music artist would you rather go see? Would you rather see Akon or
Okay.
or would you rather see Buju Banton?
I think we know the answer to that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, okay.
Sorry, Akon.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured that. I was like, we gonna do them like that.
Sorry. Sorry.
But Buju is tight, yo. I'm with you on that. I do like me some Buju. No question.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. All right. All right. You did pretty good on that. Do you like
Thank
dessert?
you. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna name four categories for you. You
Okay.
have to choose one of these categories you'll never eat again.
Okay.
So here we go. First one is ice cream.
Okay.
The second one is candy.
Okay.
The third one is cakes/pies.
Okay.
The last one is cookies. Which one are you getting rid of?
Candy.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. You and me, we in sync. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I
I've
would have
never
said
met a
candy
pie
too.
I don't love.
I've never met a cake I don't love. So woo, I'm with you on that. Okay, okay. Do you like potato chips?
Yes.
Same format. I'm gonna name four
Okay.
brands. You got to get rid of one of these brands. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
First one is Doritos.
Okay.
The second one is Lay's.
Okay.
The third one is Ruffles. The last one is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of?
Pringles.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. What's your favorite potato chip?
Like Miss Vicky. Like a like thick. I don't know. Do you guys not have those? Maybe they're Canadian. It's like a
Mm-mm.
thick cut chip, like fancy chips. And you guys
Oh,
don't have ketchup chips, do you? There's a spicy ketchup
no.
chip by Miss Vicky's.
Mm-mm. No, we don't have that. No,
Well, you are
I stick
missing
with the
out.
Ruffles. I stick
Hmm.
with the Ruffles and sour cream and cheddar. That's what I stick with.
Oh, mm,
I frequent those a lot. Those that's my number one.
okay.
And now what's your favorite ice cream?
Like a moose tracks. It's
Okay.
like it's got like caramel and chocolate and um like chocolate peanut butter cups, like little peanut butter cups. Yeah, like I want an ice cream with lots going on.
I like cookies and cream. So anything that's
Oh,
cookies and cream, I'm with it. But here's what I like to do. I like to buy the cookies and cream, and then I like to put the double stuffed Oreos in it as well. Now, yeah, I
oh,
like to
that
crush
sounds
them
good.
up and put the double stuffed Oreos in it. Now if I eat that, I'll probably go into a food coma for
Well,
sure.
yes, especially if you're diabetic.
I'll probably go into a
Please don't
food
do
coma.
that.
I will not do that anymore for sure. But in my
Younger
younger
days. Yeah.
yeah, I definitely did that for sure. No question. I want to ask you this top four question. And this
Okay.
top four question is give me a top four of places that you would like to travel to write about that you haven't yet.
Hmm.
Like what's on your
Brazil.
bucket list?
I'd like to go to Rio.
Mm, okay, Brazil.
Uh-huh. I'd like to go to Greece,
Mm,
but to write about, I want to go to like northern Greece because not a lot of people go. Everyone goes to the islands. So I bet there's some cool stories up in northern Greece that
okay.
um I want to go to Tanzania. That would be a
Oh,
story.
Tanzania.
And
Okay.
Tanzania, I think there would be a good animal because they've also got the beach there. Um, and then Ghana. I'd like to go to I'd like to write about Ghana because again, I said earlier how a lot of my writing is very self-guided
Mhm.
and just in search um, of understanding me and my history and consequentially the people who are part of it and you know not too many generations ago, that's where my family was taken from, right? In West Africa. So I
Sure.
would like to go there and just learn more about that and that connection.
Those are some great places. I definitely, before I got sick, I was planning on going to Greece this particular year on a
Oh,
cruise. On a cruise, yeah. I was gonna go there for about a week. Um, and then I had the setback. But I plan on doing two cruises in 26 since I'm not doing any in 25. But I'm hooked. I'm hooked on doing.
okay.
I want to be able to do a cruise every single year.
Wow.
Yes, every single year I want to be able to do something. So I would definitely set some money aside for that and do that and switch it up. I went with family one time. I like to go with friends another time. If I'm able to find me a lucky somebody, that'd be great to go to one time with that. That would be amazing. But yeah, I'm definitely hooked because I just got my passport last year. So it's good for 10 years and I want to be able to use it as much as possible before I have to renew it. So yeah, I definitely want to go to as many places and
I like
especially all
that.
those places for sure.
Congratulations on getting your passport. That's huge. Not a lot of
Absolutely.
Americans have it. So,
Yeah, which is crazy because now with the laws that they have here, from May 7th and on, with your driver's license, you have to get a certain driver's license to be able to fly. Like you can't just have a regular driver's license. You
oh,
have to
this
get
is the real ID, right?
yeah. So if you don't have like a star on your real ID, which costs a little bit more money to get, you can't fly.
Uh, mhm.
So my thing is, yeah, you might as well get a passport now. So if you get a passport, you can just bypass all that. And once you show the passport, you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about none of that stuff, and you can still keep your regular ID and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. I will let you know the next time I go on a cruise for sure, and all
I love
about it
it.
for
I
sure.
can't wait. I can't wait.
No doubt. What is some advice that someone has gave you? We talked about advice you would give, but what is some advice that someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Um, so there are two. So one would be, when I mentioned about what can you do for someone else, um, and deciding what can you do for someone else, and taking that into all facets of my life. And then the other would be when I got married, my boss said to me at the time, your kids are going to leave, friends are going to move away, your parents are going to die. And all of a sudden, in 20 years, you want to wake up and make sure that the person beside you is still your partner and make sure you maintain that. And
Hmm.
yeah, and so that, like, in my marriage, I guess I've never forgotten that, and try to ensure that we are maintaining our relationship, as well, because yeah, he's the one who's gonna stick by me, and I'm gonna stick by him, and we decided that that's what we want, and it's we want, and making sure we maintain that. So with that advice, what can you do for others, I think that kind of goes with all relationships. So those two pieces of advice, I guess, would be my
I
top
love
two.
that. I love that. I really do. And what a lucky man he is. And I'm sure you feel
I
the same way about him as well,
am.
which is
I'm a very
amazing.
lucky woman.
So
Yeah.
I love that. It's just being able to have somebody even just tell you that though is you rarely get somebody that sits down and just says that to you for advice, right? And it's beautiful to hear that. It's the truth. But man, so many people, it's so hard now to try to find that lucky someone.
Oh my gosh, I would not want to
Um,
be in it now. You
it's it's it's
guys,
it's, it's
you
hard.
guys. Phew.
It's hard. It's very hard.
I know.
Because you just don't know. There's too many don't knows, too much uncertainty. Um, and everybody is so different, you know. And I'm kind of an old school person. I like to court you. I like to get to know you. I like to be able to sit down and have conversations with you, and not just run of the mill conversations of that first time we're talking. I want to have some deep conversations because for me personally, you got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's perfect. All of us has demons in our closet. All of us has flaws, but you got to know, is the good going to outweigh that? And the only way that you can do that is time spent together and
Mm-hmm.
conversations had. Um, and that's the problem. A lot of times, it's very fast, quick decisions that people want. And it's almost like when there's problems, people want the quickest solution possible. And sometimes problems don't have quick solutions. Sometimes you have to be able to go through a process to be able to get to a solution. And it's the same way with that. So I love that advice. I really do. And that's some great advice that whoever gave that to you for sure. This has been a really dope conversation, Natalie. It really
Thank
has.
you. It
Learning
has. It really
learning
has.
about you and how wonderful, talented, beautiful, passionate you are as a journalist. I hope you never lose that fire. I hope you never get stagnant or anything like that, because you are great at what you do. And I can't wait to see the next place that you travel to. That's something that I don't even know. I don't even know this town, the country, the town, or whatever it is, because I'm a new fan of yours. So I'm definitely going to be checking
Thank
out your
you.
content. But I just want to say once again, thank you for coming on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. And my last question to you, as it always is that is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the job, or anything at all before we conclude?
No, no, just, I just want people to find the joy, I guess. And it's so cheesy and sounds like word art, which is awful. But yeah, I guess yeah, I guess I want everyone, especially where we are right now in the world, politically, socially,
Yeah.
where our media is so uh, gate kept, where everyone is so polarized, to just stay curious, keep asking questions, keep um, connecting with people, um, never stop exploring.
Mm, I like that. I like that. Well, without any further ado, that was well said. You take
Thank you
care
very
and
much, sir.
enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and your week. Please stay in touch. Don't be a stranger. And we will talk soon.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was an absolute pleasure. Bye.
Bye.